This one's for Helen. I normally do not put my soda pop in a cup, but because Helen did it in the movie, why not? What the heck? What the hey, you know? Alright, you guys, today is going to be a tier list video. I really enjoy doing these for some odd reason. Now, today, my tier list will not have names. The only thing I could come up with is Shiver Me Timbers and I'm hooked. So I'm just doing A through, oh, I messed it up already. A through F, ranking the deaths of the franchise I Know What You Did Last Summer. That is because the new one is coming out this week, so why not? Why not do ranking the kills videos for the franchise so far? You guys, I had to watch I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer for this video, and I did it just for you guys. So let's go in order. I'm going to try to stay in order, and we'll start with I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1996. And I'll just say, I don't hate the franchise. It's not my favorite, but it's one I could watch every day and not be mad. I think it's good. I liked it. I grew up watching it. I have it on VHS. And let's just get started. All right, so up first, we have this fellow right here, David Egan. And we don't see him die, but we get confirmed later that he does die. He's sitting on the cliff. Who knows what happened to him? I'm assuming he gets pushed off or hooked off by Ben Willis. So for that, we don't see it. We don't know what happens. We don't even see an aftermath. So for that, you're F for David Egan. And I don't hate the fact that they didn't show anything because it wouldn't have made sense for the storyline. Although the storyline does get kind of messy and confusing, you have to rewatch it a few times to understand what happened, unless you get it first try and you understood it. But for me, growing up, I didn't really know, So it took me a while to understand what was going on. Number 2, we have Max. And honestly, I love his kill scene. Like, it's really good because this franchise isn't super gory. Not a lot of blood compared to other franchises. And that's okay. I don't think it needed to be. I think this movie is a good introduction into horror movies. I think it's an easy one to watch, although it can be scary. So Max, I love it. The fisherman underhooks him into the jaw, drags him across the oven. There's like steam everywhere. We see the blood trail, and I think it was good. Not too shabby, mate. And it's a kick-ass opening kill. Although it's I think 40 minutes into the movie. I mean, this fisherman lets us know from the start that he means business. And then the rest kind of get less gory, but that's okay. Number 2 is Barry. This scene, I think, built suspense really well for what we got. And I just love this scene. We see Helen on stage, Barry on the balcony, and then we see shadows of the fisherman. She's screaming, no one's helping her, and we just see the hook go into him. And we kind of see the impact and the blood aftermath, kind of. For the kill, we could have done more, but I'm okay with what we got. Officer Caprizzo, this D-bag who was not nice to Helen in the patrol car. Again, another really good scene. The road, because of the parade, was cut off. They had to take a back alleyway. He gets out of his car to help someone who ends up being the fisherman. And then he gets hooked. And we see a little bit of mouth blood. It's not bad, but it's not the best. It could have been done more, but for this scene, there didn't need to be too much. After Helen escapes the car, which, Helen, badass. I wish she was a final girl in this. She deserved better. One of the best chase scenes in a scary movie ever is Helen. She put up a fight from the get. But her slow ass sister Elsa, I mean, she just pisses me off because she's just so mean to her sister for like no reason. And I don't know, I just didn't really care for her character. I do like the actress, but Elsa, come on, pick up the pace. Your sister's being chased by a fisherman. You don't see him, and you're slow locking the door. But the hook to the neck slashed with the blood, not bad. It's not a bad scene. There could have been more practical effects in this film. And then last is Helen. Girl, we don't necessarily see the kill. I mean, we get that wonderful on top shot of her close to the parade after she put up a fight in the store. She literally jumped out of the window. She's chasing the alleyway. She turns around. She could have made it. For that chase scene, I'm putting her at A. And when we get that shot at above, we see her putting up a fight still. And I have this weird feeling that the new one, that maybe Madeline Klein's character is Helen and Barry's child, because there was a year in between the car accident and the current events in this movie. And Helen was supposed to go to New York, but she came back. What happens if she had a baby and she put it up for adoption? Everybody says that Madeline's character gives off Helen vibes, and although I haven't seen anyone discuss it, I'm not saying this is an original idea because it's kind of predictable, so I'm not giving me credit at all if someone else has said that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that in this new movie because Scream went that route with the family route, and if they were to do that, honestly, it's predictable. And I kind of would be upset, not gonna lie. And now, which sucks because her parents are dead. And we don't get to see Sarah in the new one. And that's all the kills for the first one. Alright, now we are getting into I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which is a good sequel. I love it. I don't hate it. I enjoy it. I love the different setting. Again, a easy one to watch. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it, you know? The first kill is Dave, which is Ray's buddy, Freddie Prinze Jr., who is a supportive friend who went with him to catch up with Julie. Julie won tickets to the Bahamas, which ends up being a trick. So Dave, this is a good kill, and it's a scary kill. So they stop on the road because they see someone lying there. And this is a good lesson for everybody. You do not get out of the car. I'm not saying don't get out of the car. That makes me sound really bad. But like because of this movie scene, I would be hesitant. Now it'd be different if there was like... Depends on the scenario. But this scenario looks fake. You know, it just looked like someone was there to trap someone. Ends up being the case because the fisherman comes out from the side to kill Dave. While Freddie Prinze Jr. sees the dummy, reveals that it's a mannequin. So this kill scene, epic. We get him out of the car through the window with the hook. I don't know, I just love it. And I think it was killer and scary because it's at night. You could be put in this situation. Literally hook through the mouth, dragged out of the car window. Terrifying. So next we have the dockhand, aka Derek, and we don't see the impact. We just see the fisherman up on the boardwalk. Is that called a boardwalk? With him trying to get up, and we see a off-screen hook slash. Because it's off-screen again. Some kills just need to be off-screen, you know. There's one in here that had to be off-screen and I understood. Olga. the maid. Poor woman, she's just doing her job. Just doing her job. She gets slashed and stabbed and dragged into the hotel room. There's a little bit more effort put into this kill. You just feel bad, you know. But this one does pick up the kills more. There's a lot of characters in this who get killed just to get killed, you know. Jack Black's kill, it's not too bad. His character's not the best in this. The only reason why I'm putting him at C is because the fisherman puts a hook through his hand and Jack Black is just there, like he can't move. And then he sees the fisherman try to pick his next weapon in the shack to kill him with. And that's just terrifying. Like, you know you're gonna die and you're like pleading with this fisherman. It's scary. I don't know. It's not a fast pace kill. Mr. Brooks, off-screen kill, but the aftermath there was effort put into it. So this one, because it was off-screen, I'm going to put it at F, but A for effort for the aftermath to show us some fighting. He put up a fight. And the machete through the head, so that one could be D, but I'll put it at F. And then up next is Tyrell. This one freaked me out as a kid. I remember this, well, I've seen the movie a couple of times, but the one time it really freaked me out was that my sister was having a sleepover and she does not watch scary movies at all. And MTV was showing this movie, but it was late into the night, like past 11. And I was still up because I've struggled with my sleep my whole life. That's a whole different story. So this movie came on and we had that tiny little TV with like the player at the bottom. My sister did on her side of the room. And this movie came on and his kill scene, oh my gosh, it was 10 times scarier in that moment. The fisherman dropping behind him as he's talking to his friends and his girlfriend about how tired and hungry he is. You can tell the setting is just cold. They've been on this journey of terror. And then he drops down, surprise kills him with the hook, and then he gets taken back. Oh my gosh. It's good. I mean, it's not that bad. Freaked me out. But again, there could have been more, you know. But I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it. And I think it's fine the way it is. Bill Cobbs gets killed next. And I love Bill Cobbs. His character's name is Atez. And he was just trying to help these kids out. But he gets a poker. He gets impaled with the poker through his back by Ben Willis. Will Benson, the son, with the fire poker. And it's not the best, but it's not the worst. What's scary is that he ends up falling on Nancy, and then she gets impaled. And I think that kill is better and more scary. I always think to myself, she could have maybe have gotten up or like tried to push him up because she looked strong. She looked fit. And I think she was married to Bradley Cooper in real life. But her kill as a woman terrifies me and like makes me want to do some push-ups. Up next is Will Benson, Ben's son, who is the original killer. He gets killed by his father. Okay. You know, like a little cheesy. It's in the rain. Definitely could see it coming. I mean, getting hooked by your dad on accident, that's gotta hurt. And then his father gets shot by Julie multiple times. I don't know. I didn't really like the ending, the killing of these two. I liked the movie, but I don't know, I never really cared for those two and how they got killed off. But is Ben really dead? I'm gonna put him right here because that's how he died. Now we're gonna get into I'll always know what you did last summer. I will say Brandy did not get killed off in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and there's been some rumors that she's in the new one, and she better be in the new one because I loved Carla. I think she is a badass. She was a good friend, and just like Helen, I think she deserved. Well, and I wish Helen made it to the end like Carla did, because why not have two final girls? You know what I'm saying? Which has happened in a few movies. Just like the movie Sick that Kevin Williamson wrote. I don't think he directed that one, but Kevin Williamson did write I Know What You Did Last Summer. Alright, up first, and I'll always know what you did last summer, is PJ. I did watch this movie when it first came out. It was straight to video. It did not make its way into the movie theaters because it sucked ASS, and that is just my opinion. If you like it, I'm so happy you liked it, but when I first watched it, I was highly, highly disappointed, and I was so excited to watch it, but it really disappointed me, and I was really, really looking forward to watching it and expecting it to be good. The original cast is not in it, which I understand because it came out in 2006, which was not a good time for original horror content. That time period was for remakes, and not bad remakes. I think there was a lot of good remakes during that time. Not everybody's favorite, but that's when I was growing up, and that's when I watched scary movies the most. But this one, not my fave. So PJ, he accidentally falls to his death and gets impaled by a tractor. I think it was a tractor. Looked like a tractor. I did rewatch this movie to see, so I could take my notes in, because I couldn't remember any of the kills. For that, I'm gonna go with C. This film is not bad with the kills, I will say that. They stepped up their game. The practical effects were good. I don't even think they used CGI. If they did, it was the bare minimum, and I liked that. I like the use of practical effects. Up next is Roger. He gets his throat slashed with the hook, and it's more graphic. Like, honestly, not that bad. This movie is not good quality. The cinematography is not the best at all. And, kind of gave me a headache rewatching this movie. Super shaky. So, the only female to die in this movie is Zoe. And when I was watching this again, I was like, she looks so familiar. She was in Pretty Little Liars. That's where she was from. I did not finish the series. I watched like the first couple series of Pretty Little Liars, and then it just didn't. I just ended up not liking it. So Zoe's kill, I'm gonna put it at B. They put a lot of effort into this. Is it cheesy? Yes. Some of these kills mimic the original with the balcony, the kitchen. Well, the kitchen was in first and second one. The impalement officer. It just mimics a lot of the first one. Up next is the officer who everybody thought was the killer, but is not the killer. He gets hooked in the shoulder and then dragged into darkness. I'm only putting him at D because that's terrifying if you were to witness that. We don't actually see the impact, but not a bad start, you know? Colby, he has a chase scene in the kitchen, and you might recognize him from Final Destination 2. He's the one that gets impaled through the eyes with the ladder. This one's hard because he gets hooked through the kitchen door, and that's not too bad, you know. That's pretty messed up. And then last will be this one's Deputy Hefner. So he gets hooked down under and then impaled through, I think, a forklift. Not too bad, but at this point in the movie, I was just like fed up. I didn't care for it, and I don't like it. But if you like it, I'm so glad you liked it. It's just not my personal favorite. Highly disappointed in it again. And if you have not seen this film, a little spoiler alert, the killer is Ben Willis as a zombie. He's not dead. He came back from the dead to kill these kids in Colorado that's not even in near where the first one happened. Very confusing, and yeah. I'm not saying don't go watch it, but I'm just saying it's not the best film ever made. But I do have high hopes for the new one that will be coming out later this week. I'm so excited to see it. Please don't be bad. Please don't be bad. But yeah, that is my ranking of the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Yes, I included I'll Always Know, just for you guys. The new one comes out later this week. I will be reviewing that. As always, please stay safe out there, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.